What's going on, my friends? This is Gamers for Life, back here with another Division 2 build video, and this time I have a really nice skill damage build for you guys today. Now, I do have some legendary footage at the end of the build video, so stay tuned for that. And I've watched a lot of weapon damage videos where content creators will showcase what it can do in legendary during the first part of, say, District Union, and then comments will be like, well, you just did the easiest part of the legendary. Honestly, there's really no easy part in legendary, especially when you're solo. So getting past any area solo in a legendary is a feat in itself, and those guys who actually solo the whole legendary missions are just crazy good at the game. Now, with that said, I did end up getting past the first area, and I also did the second area just to give you a good showcasing of this crazy build. And honestly, I wish I would have had time to do more, because this build was doing its thing. And that is one thing that I do want to attempt to do in the future, is solo a legendary mission. So hopefully I'll get to that one day. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this build. Now I have on the mask, everything is rolled with skill haste and skill damage, and this has a 12% skill haste mod. I have skill haste mods on everything. If you want to go with skill duration to have it out as much as possible, you know, that's perfectly fine. You can tweak this build to whatever playstyle you like, but for me, I want to be able to get my skills back as fast as possible. So like I said, skill damage and skill haste on everything. Unfortunately, this is the only piece where I need to optimize the skill haste. At right now, it's sitting at 9.4% skill haste. Max skill damage with an 11.2% skill haste mod. Need to find a better mod as well. But the chest piece comes with kinetic momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill lost when on cooldown. So basically, you're going to be getting an extra 15% damage, skill damage, with kinetic momentum. And hey, if you want to use glass cannon, go right on ahead. That's just, for me, I don't just throw my skills out there and sit behind cover. I'm continuously shooting with my gun, so I'm not in cover a whole lot. So if I had glass cannon on, I would absolutely get shredded. But yeah, that's what I'm running. And then I have on my backpack is a Hannah U named piece. Perfect combined arms. So shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. And every time you shoot, it refreshes. So yeah, it's 3-piece Empress International, 2 pieces Hannah U. The 3 brand set bonuses for Empress is plus 10% skill health, plus 10% skill damage, and plus 10% skill efficiency. And just like weapon handling is equal to 1% of stability, accuracy, reload speed, and swap speed, skill efficiency is 1% of skill efficiency is equal to 1% skill damage, skill haste, skill duration, skill health, repair skill, status effects. So basically all the skill stats. So essentially this brand set is giving us plus 20% skill health and plus 20% skill damage as far as with having skill efficiency on it. So you're getting a lot of damage from this build. And then of course, every skill damage build should definitely have the holster waveform that comes with skill damage and skill haste. Talent alternating current generates a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. After 10 seconds at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. The process then repeats ad infinitum, which basically just means the process then repeats continuously. So yeah, like I said, skill haste mods on all of my pieces. Then I'm using, let's go with the skills. And with the skill, all that skill haste, the cooldown is 10.7 seconds on each skill, so I get them back pretty fast. At tier 6, obviously, plus 120% skill damage and plus 420% skill health for both of them. Base damage for the striker drone is 78,000, and base damage for the assault turret is 139,000. Now that number goes way up, especially when you have all of these procced at the same time. And also the capacitor. Now this is definitely a must-have on this build. The talent is shooting enemies build stacks to a cap of 40. Each stacks grants 1.5% skill damage. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. For each skill tier, gain 7.5% weapon damage. That's a lot of skill damage that you're getting from this gun. Unfortunately, you can't. This is my setup I was using, but you can't like get stacks from here and then switch over here and proc and sync and vice versa. You can't get in sync and then come over here, because once you swap the weapon, then your stacks will go away on the capacitor, and your in sync talent will go away immediately when you switch to the capacitor. So basically what I'm going to do, and going forward, is I am going to be using the mechanical animal with my capacitor, because I can get a kill with the mechanical animal. Okay, let's just go ahead over the talent. Future Perfection. Weapon kills grant +1 skill tier for 19 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Weapon kills at skill tier 6 grant overcharge for 15 seconds. Overcharge cooldown is 90 seconds. So I can get a kill with this weapon and we'll have the overcharge for 15 seconds. And when I swap to the capacitor, that overcharge does stay up. So while the overcharge is going, I'm getting my stacks with the capacitor, and the damage is just ridiculous. I didn't have it in the game footage coming up, so to me, this build is just going to be that much better. And also, what I'm using is specialization as a technician. Obviously, for the main reason, plus 10% skill damage. It also gives you party members within 5 meters of your deployed and undisrupted skills are immune to shock and disruption. Gain 15% bonus armor while aiming a skill, and plus 50% pulse resistance. We're not really worried about those. You do get +1 skill tier, plus 12% damage to drone skill proxies in robotics, which is big in legendaries, because it helps you take those drones and those Johnny Fives and the dogs running around. It just completely shreds them. So that is beautiful to have that extra damage. And then you have armor kit also applies to all friendly skill proxies within 10 meters. So since this gives you that extra skill tier, if you wanted to change one of these pieces to a blue attribute, a core attribute, and just have a little bit more survivability, that's perfectly fine. That's definitely one way you can do it. I unfortunately I didn't have a perfect piece to where I could do that, but you know, it's all good. So if you want to see some of the damage that this can do, let's go down to the firing range and I'll meet you down there. All right. So let's just take a look at the turret. Now let me put that on elite, invulnerable elite. And let's get some stacks. So you can see with the 40 stacks, the base was 139, it's up to 283 with the procs. So we saw it get up to 283. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the full stack get up on the waveform. All right, now I'm gonna take one of these guys out with my mechanical animal. All right, and then get my stacks up here. 340. 341 is basically, wow, that's crazy. So 341 was the max we got on this. Now with the drone, we won't be able to have the overcharge the overcharge would because I'm not gonna sit here for 90 seconds and wait for my mechanical animal to come back. Well, I tell you what, I'll be back in 90 seconds. How about that? Wait for the waveform to get it. Alright, I'm back. Waveform's about to be procced. 90 seconds is over, so let me get this. Oh, I need the other gun on. Jeez, Nick. There we go. Everything's procced. Let's get the stacks on the capacitor and see the max we get with this, which you saw over 201, 209. So probably 215, 220 would have been the max with the Striker drone, because that's by the time I got my stacks with the capacitor, the waveform was already going towards the other way. So yeah, that's some pretty decent damage. And the base for this was, what did I say, 83? Oh, 76 was the base. So yeah, so that's the damage on the skills, and that's the skill build. I mean, if I miss anything, let me know. I'll go over the mods on the skills real fast. 5% damage, 6.3% duration, and 6.1% duration for the assault turret. And then for the Striker drone, 7.2% duration, 4.2% damage, and 9.7% health. So yeah, and like I said, this is probably going to be the setup that I use going forward with the mechanical animal and the capacitor. And then your pistol can just be whatever. I don't even use the pistol, honestly. So yeah, that's it. That's the build. Hopes this helped you out with your skill builds. Like I said, however you want to run it. If you're running a different way, let me know. I know there's a lot of different ways you can run skill builds, and this is just what I found to be the best way that I like to run it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead with this legendary footage. As always, my friends, take it easy.
detected. Assistance needed.